So, how it is going to be displayed? As we have seen that there are two targets presented, right? So these two are my targets. But the third one, which has a value lesser than threshold number 2, is not going to be detected. But actually, at that position, target is there. This is the undetected target. Right? So, what is the signal to noise ratio? The signal to noise ratio is nothing but the ratio of signal power to the noise power. So, this signal to noise quantifies the intensity of background noise, right? Compared to the intensity of total signal, the how much amount of signal is present, right? Over here, signal to noise is the signal to noise quotient S by N. If you want to represent its normal value, that S by N is equals to 10 raised to SN by 10. But if you need to represent in the dB, then it is represented like SNR is signal to noise expressed in decibel. That is dB. Alright? That is 10 log base 10 signal to noise. Okay? This is the absolute value. This is the value in the dB. Right? If you need to calculate the signal to noise ratio in dB, so it is nothing but signal power in dBm minus noise power in dBm. Right? So the 1000 Hz signal level is having a 15 dBm from this diagram. This 15 dBm represents the signal power. And what is for the noise power? Is for the 5 dBm. This is the noise power, 5 dBm. This is the signal power. Right? So if I need to calculate the signal to noise ratio, it can be calculated by subtracting the noise power from the signal power. Right? Now what is S minimum? S minimum is the minimum signal for the detection. That means it measures the strength of weakest signal which is going to be received by radar from the target. Alright? So to get a valid contact, return power needs to be determined the S minimum. Then only a target is going to be detected. So the received power should be much greater than the signal to noise ratio into a noise equivalent power that is equals to S minimum. Right? So the minimum detectable signal is the decibel equivalent of S minimum, which is calculated relative to the 1 milliwatt. Alright? It is represented as like 10 log base 10 S minimum 1 into 10 raised to minus 3 watt. If it is represented in the milliwatt. Now what is pulse radar? So the pulse radar is, we can say that if you want to transmit signal in the form of pulse, then it is the radar is known as the pulse radar. Right? So what is the function of it? It extends the environment beyond our own eyes and ears. So it extends the capability detection capability of radar. Right? So what are the advantages? The advantages are we can see through the condition that impact of visual detection with a longer line of sight range. Second, it gives the accurate measurement of range and relative motion just with eyes. Right? Third, it gives the accurate measurement of azimuth and the elevation. Now, what do you mean by azimuth and the elevation? Azimuth angle means it is the horizontal angle. Elevation is the vertical, right? As the radar is going to be scanned horizontally as well as the vertical to detect the target, right? So we are able to calculate the measurement of azimuth and elevation angle of target, range and relative motion of the target, and also we can see to the impact visual condition, and we are able to detect the target based on that. And the fourth one, it gives the accurate information which fed into the fire control system more efficiently than the human being. Right? So these are the advantages of pulse radar. Alright? So you can say that the pulse, with the help of pulse radar, we are able to detect the target. Apart from that, we are able to get the information like azimuth and elevation angle and the range of target and what is the relative motion of the target. Alright? But what are the disadvantages of pulse radar? It provides poor target resolution and the poor ID capability. Right? So these are the disadvantages of pulse radar. Alright? So we can say that the radar range depends on the peak power, radar cross section, gain of transmitting antenna, effective aperture, and what is the value of minimum detectable signal. So based on that, we can say that if you want to transmit the signal up to a longer distance, we must need to transmit a higher power. Right? And if we need to use all these advantages, we need to prefer a pulse radar. Right? So over here, from chapter number 2, we have discussed the basic radar range equation. And in today's session, we have seen that what are the advantages and the disadvantages of pulse radar and how the target is going to be located in the scope and it is going to be detected. And if we don't need to find that whether the target is present or not, it must be identified with the help of a value of threshold level. Alright? So this threshold level, what it defines? That value should be a perfect. Because if we are not able to identify the accurate value of threshold level, it can be identified as a false target. Okay? And in the scope, we can get that whether over there the target is present, but actually it is not. Right? So we have seen the noise equivalent power, signal to noise ratio, and what is the relationship between signal to noise ratio, noise equivalent power, and what should be the value of received power. Okay? The received power must have the value greater than the minimum detectable signal. Why? because it must have, if its value is lesser than the minimum readable signal, then the radar antenna won't detect or won't receive any signal. So the S mean, that is the minimum detectable signal, is a signal power in which a receiver should have to attain that value, should have to reach that value. Alright? So over here, we can say that table number 2, we are able to identify what is a relationship between the pulse rate, pulse repetition frequency, pulse repetition time, duty cycle, and how to locate and how to detect the target in terms of range, azimuth angle, elevation angle, and what are different components of pulse radar. Alright? So we can say that the pulse radar has a different components like a synchronizer, display, transmitter, receiver, one single antenna, and the duplexer. Alright? So, but still, if you find any query or any question related to the topic that we have covered, you can ask me anytime on my video email ID. Till then, thank you for your attention.